Good morning. Morning. Well, we've decided we're just going to kind of cancel Easter services. You can pick up your eggs in the back, and we're going to go home. So, okay. April Fools, yeah. Whose idea was that? Who did that? Sheesh. I read Ann Landers occasionally, and I read it today. And usually I read it, and I look at the stories, and I go, what? Why would somebody even ask such a thing? So I read it today, and I went, oh, come on. And she goes, well, I'm usually pretty good at seeing the fake stories, fake questions. So I hope everybody out there has a happy April Fool's Day. So, stupid. Yeah, happy 4th of July. Soon after the offering plate, this is from Reader's Digest, soon after the offering plate had been passed around, a parishioner announced that someone had accidentally dropped in his or her hearing aid. There was a period of silence, followed by a congregant suggesting, maybe you should say that a little louder. Probably. I was at a hardware store to get a duplicate of my car key made when the store clerk asked, you're a model. It was exactly what the woman in her mid-30s wanted to hear. Well, no, I'm not, I said, blushing, but I am very flattered that he stopped me right there, pointed to my car keys, and repeated slowly, year and model. Darn. A woman walked into a library and wondered where they had put the books about paranoia. The librarian replied, they're right behind you. Done with dating sites. I'm now focusing on pizza delivery guys because at least I know they have a job, a car, and pizza. Yeah. Since I actually missed last Sunday, long story, lots of grease under the fingernails. So I'm not sure who read what. So you didn't do anything. Wow, okay. Botanically speaking, the banana is an herb. The jalapeno is a fruit. Apples and peaches are members of the rose family. I know. We learned something at church. Wow. Imagine that. No, that one was real. A very popular error, having the courage of one's convictions, rather is a matter of having the courage for an attack upon one's convictions. Nietzsche, 1844. No one who deserves confidence ever solicits it. Never claim as a right what you can ask as a favor. Yeah, I don't know. Thank you, Nancy. Nancy brought me this book, so blame her. An apt quotation is as good as an original remark. Okay? Quotation is the highest compliment you can pay to an author. Ta-da. Hey, we have 1 week away is our Expo. A year in the making, and next weekend is the Expo. So, few last minute things. We still need items for the silent auction. Looks like we're doing better back there. Is that better, or is that still we need stuff? I know. We still need things. So if you've got anything for the silent auction, that would be wonderful, especially guy things. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't set the date yet. Let's say Wednesday.
Okay, so if they've got something, bring it here before Wednesday, but after Wednesday, just bring it to the Expo?
Or you can bring it here Wednesday, because I'll be here probably in a couple hours.
Okay.
What time? After 3 on Wednesday.
After 3 on Wednesday. That's a good idea. That's a good idea. Yeah, bring the dessert at the Expo. Okay. Yeah, that has to be included now. We do have a set seminar that will be going on. Seminar, still hard for me to say. Ad in the paper looks great. I've seen it on social media. I have a news feed on my phone that I actually saw it on, so that's kind of cool. So lots of stuff going on, but you know, without everybody's help, that show cannot go on. I mean, with 120 volunteer spots, holy smokes, thanks for everybody for filling those and helping out. Couldn't do it without you. It's obviously our biggest outreach of the year. So there you go. And did you see this? Isn't this nice? My. Did we want to say anything about this other than buy a ticket? Purdy. Raise your hand, Chris. Thank you. Can I just sit here and pet it, or oily hands? And so that's that. I like those colors. So those are very, very nice. Thank you so much.
Dan suggested we name it A Fresh Direction.
A fresh direction. Yeah, I like that. The other way around? Oh, okay. ARE is having something here on Saturday, May 5th. This is one of their larger things, definitely a regional thing. Great speaker. Information's in the back. So, and we do have a couple patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon. And John, imagine that, he said, all you need is love. Everybody knows that. Everybody knows that. Yep. And George, if a movie is described as a romantic comedy, you can usually find me next door playing pinball. Yep. No, that's George. That's George. Okay, I'm not going to do that one now. I'm going to do that one. How'd that get there? Little kids talking about what is love. Age 4. Love is when your puppy licks your face even after you've licked him all day. I know my older sister, age 4 again. I know my older sister loves me because she gives me all of her old clothes and has to go out and buy new ones. When you love somebody, your eyelashes go up and down and little stars come out of you. Cute. That was Karen, age 7. So, okay. What the heck? I'll do this one. This one, I used to do jokes specifically for Dorothy. Dorothy came here many, many years ago. She's passed on now, and but she was just priceless. So I would hold jokes back just when she was here. So I'd have a pile here as my Dorothy pile. So this is what marriage is really all about. He ordered 1 hamburger, 1 order of French fries, and 1 drink. The old man unwrapped the plain hamburger and carefully cut it in half. He placed 1 half in front of his wife. He then carefully counted out the French fries, dividing them into 2 piles, neatly placed 1 pile in front of his wife. He took a sip of the drink, his wife took a sip, and then set the cup down between them. As he began to eat a few bites of the hamburger, the people around them kept looking over and whispering. You could tell what they were thinking. That poor old couple, all they can do is afford 1 meal for the 2 of them. As the man began to eat the fries, a young man came to the table, politely offered to buy another meal for the old couple. The old man said they were just fine. They're used to sharing everything. The surrounding people noticed that the little old lady hadn't eaten a bite. She sat there watching her husband eat and occasionally taking turns sipping the drink. Again, the young man came over and begged them to let him buy a meal for them. This time, the old woman said, "No, thank you very much. We're used to sharing. Everything's fine." As the old man finished and was wiping his face neatly with the napkin, the young man again came over to the little old lady who had yet to eat a single bite of food and asked, "What is it you're waiting for?" She answered, "The teeth." Thank you, Dorothy. Yeah. And we're sure we have people helping Friday to pick up stuff here at the church? Okay, cool. I know you're going to be here, but I want to make sure you have help. So, all right. we're going to sing a song. I don't know if have we done this song before, Jen? No. Okay. Okay. I was going to say, because I didn't recognize it as one that we had done before.
Okay, two things. First of all, right after services, we're going to do an Easter egg hunt for the kids. While the kids are doing their Easter egg hunt, please be careful backing out your cars. That's one thing. The other thing is we've got a ton of stuff that is everywhere in the church that has to go to the expo. So if you could stay just a couple of extra minutes while the kids are doing their thing, and we'll pull stuff out of closets and things and pack it up by the back door, that would just give us a ton of help. Right, Lori? Be a ton of help. She used to do it all by herself, and it's just too much. So, but together, it'll just take a few minutes, right? So the song we're going to sing today, my granddaughter says it is her favoriteest song ever. So I want you to hear it. I put it somewhere.
Hi. Since this is the last week for promotion for the show, we have little handouts, we got a couple of posters. So if there's anybody just hand them stuff, remind everybody, social media, share everything, so we can get everybody, because there's all kinds of stuff going on. The Pet Expo is that weekend too. That would be fun. But maybe we can go over there and give them some flyers. So I'd send people to the Pet Expo. That'd be fun. So
that'd be a whole different volunteer. So. Okay. Happy Easter. I have so much. This much I want to share, and this much time, and I want to keep it short today because everything we got going on. These are my notes. I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version. That'll work, won't it? Because here's the thing. There's a lot of people, it's Easter, okay, Christian holiday, it's Passover for the Jewish people, blah, blah, blah. I don't think like normal Christian people do. And so I apologize in advance, but I'm not sorry. And I think a little differently, and I'm going to share with you a little bit why today. And I'm stumbling for words because I really want you to be able to have your own faith. But I'm just going to share with you what rings my chimes. Okay? So if this is just ridiculous for you, I'm okay with that. I'm not here to change your mind or make you think a different way. I'm just here to share. I think Jesus was the plan from the very beginning of time, and he was the way. And here's why I think he was the plan. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he said, let there be light, blah, 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 and the Spirit moved on the face of the earth. You know that. Oh, by the way, good book. Might want to read it. I've got handouts if you want to get the Bible passages that I use for these things. All Bibles have a thing in the front that'll tell you what page the books are in, and then you can find the chapter from there. A cheat, easy way to do Bible study is go to Bible Gateway. You can just type in the verse and it'll bring it up and it'll be on your phone. Easy peasy. That's really good. So here's the thing. Here's my conundrum. I might get a little spun up today. Fasten your seatbelts. With that encouragement. Here's the thing. A lot of us are here in this church because other churches have beat us to a pulp. Okay? That's right. Here, I have an analogy for you. I was going to do this later, but I'm going to do it right now. If I were to beat you with a rolling pin, does that make you a master chef? If I were to smack you with a rolling pin, does that mean you could never taste the sweetness of an apple pie? Yeah. That means that you have been hit with a rolling pin. You still get to taste pie. That's what it's used for. Roll out that dough. It has a use. There's people that will beat you the heck up with this thing. Right? That's not its use. If you open it, there's a sweetness that permeates everything. Everything. And if all you've got is what's been beaten at you with, you'll miss it. You'll think this is the way it is, and you never taste the pie. But let me tell you about the first pie I ever made. My mom's a great cook. She gave me her recipe. So I had my mom's recipe. I did the pie thing. Couldn't chisel the crust out of the pie. Had to throw the pan away. Couldn't chisel that crust out of the pan. Mama, couldn't chisel the crust out of the pie pan. Oh, honey, you might have overcooked it. You might have worked it before you put it in the pan. People overwork it, and it's tough and edible. But if you do it right, treat it gently, it's beautiful. How many people love apple pie? With ice cream. How many people love cherry pie, pumpkin pie? Pie is good. Pie is good. But most of the people in this room have been smacked around with what was not good and expected to live a beautiful life and be happy and like Jesus. And no wonder you don't like him. Because you think it's all about hokey pokey, hooey fooey guilt and shame. If guilt and shame is what you know, chuck that crap out. Why do you think we have a dream catcher on that cross? Dream catchers block nightmares. Religion is full of nightmares. I want you just to have the pure, sweet stuff. So I just want to share the pure, sweet stuff with you. And if it's hooey to you, I'm okay with that. But if you get a taste, you might want to look more. I want to hear more. I want to feel more. I want to have a deeper connection. That's all okay. Whatever works for you. So here's the thing. In the beginning there was God, and there was Jesus, and there was the Holy Spirit. And we know that because in the New Testament it says the Word was God and the Word was with God in the beginning. So there they were. God created. Then he spoke. That's Jesus. And the Holy Spirit moved. That's how it works now. There's creative force. It's spoken. And things happen. That's how we manifest things as well. Then there's the fall of humankind. I don't agree with fall of humankind. I think that's BS. I think it's the awakening of humankind into awareness. I think the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was a litmus test. I don't think it was there, you can't do it. I bet you can't touch that. No, that's not what it was about. And then when they tasted the fruit, because Satan said, oh, surely you're not going to die. I was talking about spiritual death that happens when we come to awakening and we are convicted by our conscience. What did God say? He said, where are you? That wasn't he knew where they were. Where are you? Ask yourself that now. Where are you? Are you in this loving, connected state with divine source? If not, why not? Step into that. You get to. Maybe you're afraid of that. I'm so sorry. It breaks my heart. The really cool thing is, as God was saying, okay, you can't stay in the garden anymore. Now here's the thing. Have you ever, those of us who are parents will get this. If you haven't been a parent, you were a kid once. So when you were told you had to do chores, did you like it? When you were, oh, you're weird though. When you were grounded from what you wanted to do, did you like it? No, but you needed it because it would help you grow. And when they were thrown out of the garden, they whined and cried about it. That's aware. I coulda, shoulda, coulda, woulda. It was waking up. And then that whole same process, then God tells Satan, okay, you bruised his heel, I'm going to bruise your head. And Jesus did. That's what Jesus did. Now, some people think that, oh gosh, humans fell. They were supposed to be in the garden forever. They fell. And then the Old Testament came along and they didn't get that right and blah, blah, blah. And then Jesus came along and they didn't recognize him. So that failed. And no. He's the plan, been the plan from the very, very beginning. And the plan was to return us to innocence. Like we're back in the garden, only this time we're aware. We know when we do the right thing, and we know when we aren't doing the right thing, and we strive to do the right thing. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. Not about telling you what a bad person you are. Because guess what? You're only human. If you start walking on water, that's a whole other story. So let me tell you the Reader's Digest version of Jesus' life. He was born. So he existed before, because he was in the beginning, but he was born. And that was when he took that human form, breathed the breath of life. Just like Adam breathed the breath of life, and or God gave him the breath of life. And then Jesus took the breath of life, became human. We do the same thing. When we pass away, we release the breath. That's when we pass. My sister-in-law is in hospice right now. She's passing. And every breath is a labor. It's hard. It's hard to watch them labor with every breath. Everybody's told her they love her and given her permission. And when she's ready, she'll release that breath of life. And then she'll breathe light and go to light. So obviously there's a ton of stuff that's happening in Jesus' life at this point, but then he was baptized. And the heavens opened, the Spirit descended, and God said, this is my beloved Son, hear ye him. So there they were again, the three of them, Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. They're all together. Then Jesus was tempted immediately after that. Matthew 4:3. 1 John 2:16 tells us that the formation of temptation. First of all, God doesn't tempt us. I don't have the verse for that. I'll get it for you if you need it. But we are tempted when we're drawn away by the lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, and the boastful pride of life. Those are the three things. How that happens, how that manifests, all comes from those three root things. Lust of the eyes, lust of the flesh, and the boastful pride of life. And the boastful pride of life is one of the hardest, isn't it? Boy. Ugh. You know, we criticize ourselves. Oh, I shouldn't have had that last cookie. But boy, that ego gets in the way, and it's so deceptive, isn't it? Then Jesus chose his apostles. Acts 1:2 says he told us he chose them. And he chose them for a reason. Jesus had a mission. His mission, according to Luke 10:19, was to seek and save that which was lost. And what was lost is our innocence. We're stumbling around, trying to do what we think will make us better than the next guy, stumbling around trying to be important, stumbling around trying to have it all, and we're missing the boat. That's what's lost, is this innocence, this purity of open curiosity. And Jesus' other mission was he had compassion for the multitudes. Matthew 19:36. He had compassion for the multitudes. Don't you love that? I'm going to get back to that here in a minute. He surrendered. Thy will be done. Matthew 26:14. He was betrayed. When Judas kissed him, Jesus said, friend, do what you have to do. Even in that, he called him a friend. Much better man than me. He was tried and crucified. He yielded up his spirit. He rose from the dead. Angel said, he is risen from the dead. Matthew 28:6. And Matthew 28:18, all authority on heaven and earth is given to him. And he gave a mission, go teach. He promised the Holy Spirit. And on the day of Pentecost, the Holy Spirit did come, which was the same day, 1,300 years earlier, that Moses received the Torah on Mount Sinai. How cool is that? How cool is that? I'm sure it was just a coincidence. Then he ascended, Acts 1:9, he was lifted up and the cloud received him. And he will return, Acts 11:11, and the same way you just saw him leave. He'll be back. He'll be back. And we will be changed. 1 Corinthians 15:50 through 53. This perishable must put on the imperishable, and the mortal must put on immortality, and death is swallowed in victory. So what was his message? Jesus' message was love finds a way. Love finds a way. He loved, he had so much compassion for the people. And he tried to teach us that. That was the core of his teachings. There was a movie out not so long ago, and I can't remember the name of the movie. Joe, you probably remember, you loaned it to us. But it was like NCIS Jerusalem. When they were examining the death of Jesus. There were a lot of things in there I thought, no. But there was some really good part where there was this person who was a leper, had leprosy, a disease, really bad disease. And somebody was whacking him with a broom, and people were yelling at him, get away, get away. Jesus saw this, perked right up, big smile on his face, grabbed a fish that was cooked and laying by the side of the fire, picked it up, ran to the guy and said, here, sat with him, have some food. You okay? And then the guy thanked him very much, got up, and then as he walked off, he had been healed. He'd go, oh my gosh, look, I'm healed. And the guy elbows the centurion and says, that's why we follow him. That's why we follow him. That's the truth of it. Jesus taught us, don't settle. Remember that? Ask, seek, and you shall find. Ask, and it'll be given. Knock, and the door will be open. Don't settle. Don't settle for not having what you want. Don't settle for what's being handed out. Look for better. Look for better in yourself. Look for better in the world. Look for a better way. The golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Mark 12:30. Love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. And the similar, Mark 22:37 through 39. Love God, love yourself, and love others. In that order. You can't love somebody else if you're not loving yourself first. You can't love yourself if you don't have a open relationship with God and know that you're valuable. We are children of light. And when we know that, that changes everything. That changes everything. So what did Jesus do when he was here? He healed people. He commanded the sea and the wind. He raised the dead. He taught with authority. He told stories. He blessed children. And he stood up against hypocrisy. And that's why we follow him. That's what it's about. That's the Reader's Digest version. Now it's fast. But it's powerful stuff. And if you've been hit over the head with how terrible you are and it's all your fault, please throw that crap out the window. Take a new look. Humanity has gone from not being aware they were even human, not being aware they were anything more than animals, to awareness of, oh, oops, I screwed up. To, I don't know how to live amongst all these people. Let's have some rules and regulations. So they got the Ten Commandments, thou shalt not. And then all the litany of all those rules and regulations they needed to do. That's the Old Testament. New Testament came along and says, oh, yeah, this is a new law of liberty. And there's a lot of stuff in there about how to be a good person and a good citizen. And it all boils down to love. If we're motivated by love, everything else falls into place. If we love God, love creation, love the fact that we're here and we've got an opportunity to change the world. I hate to tell you this, but you came here to change the world. That's why you're breathing. You may not even know what it is that you're doing that changes the world, but you're here to change the world, and don't forget it. don't forget it. Ask for an opportunity. Seek an opportunity. Knock on that door of opportunity and you walk through it because that's what you came here to do. And I'm done yammering on that. Oh, no. I'm okay with that. I apologize. It's a little disconjointed. It's been a real weird week. But I really want you to get how much it all fits together and how powerful you are. So, Mr. Phil, if you would join me up.